So this is my overview of the HRX 217 HYA. This is the upgraded newer model with the GCV 200. I've used this now a couple times. I did have the VYA for a little bit, but I upgraded to this one because this is the one I really wanted. Because of COVID that's going on, I believe the factory that makes this, which is based out of either South or North Carolina, they were shut down for quite some time. So the inventory on this as of right now, which is June 2020, is very low. And there's already several videos online that reviews this mower. This is just more of a overview from my perspective of some tips and tricks that I've done already. So as you can tell here, I have some bicycle tape to kind of give me a little bit more extra grip. I only put it on 2 of the 3 bars. You do not want to put it on the blade control, because if you put it on the blade control, it will stick to one another, and you don't want that from happening due to safety reasons. So I have it on the main handle. Blade control doesn't have it. The transmission control has it. So it just provides a nice little grip. It feels good in the hand. A nice little feel to this premium mower. I feel that Honda should have already provided something. So another trick I have is using a tachometer. I'm able to connect this wire to the spark plug, and it tells me how many revolutions per minute, how many RPMs it runs. Out the box, this ran roughly around close to 3,000 RPM. So this is more an advanced feature, and use this at your own discretion. But what I did is I put it all the way on fast, and using 2 pairs of needle nose pliers in both hands, I would put one needle nose down here and another one up here. There's several videos on how to adjust your RPM, how to adjust your governor, but I manually adjusted it a little close to 3,300 RPM is what I adjusted my governor at max speed. And then what I would do is I will lower it and then hear the little humming of 3,000, and then move it up to 3,300. Then I would kind of train my ear, train myself on the hum of what a 3,300 RPM is and what a 3,000 RPM level is. But from time to time, I would go over an area where I wanted a little bit extra suction, a little bit extra fan speed, like mulching leaves, mulching branches, and then that's when I would manually override it and go all the way up to 3,400 RPM. And I would only do that sort of like a turbo speed, temporary, and then go back down to about 3,000 RPM. So that's a little bit of an advanced feature if you want to do that. Otherwise, you can just leave it at the stock 3,000 RPM. And what I really love about this mower is that you can adjust the speed of your RPM. This is the main reason why I really wanted the HYA model of this mower. Now, they do have an electric start, but that's like $120 more. I mean, because this is already a blade stop, I find myself only ever turning this thing on one time and letting it run, and whenever I need to remove the bag or do something, you know, I just let go of it. I never have to mess with starting this lawnmower each and every single time I need to stop and do something because of the blade control. So I find it personally that electric start is unnecessary if you have blade control. And that's also one less thing I have to worry about in the winter, you know, using a battery tender on the battery over the winter when this is not in use. This is just one less thing you have to worry about. And here's the other thing. Now, for this being a very premium mower, I actually put 2 layers of duct tape here. I used this very heavy duty T-Rex brute force duct tape and cut it to size and used 2 layers, sort of like as a temporary deck guard, because this is made out of plastic, and I do really like plastic. The unfortunate thing about plastic, it can scratch and scuff up very easy. So I put this up as a temporary measure to protect my deck, but I have a more permanent solution that I'm gonna go ahead and review right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and install this genuine Honda deck guard. All right, so here's the final installation. A little bit of a gap on this one. This is my first one. And on the second one, it's much better. But the problem I have with this, and a lot of people have complained about the same thing, is the fact that it has 4 separate height adjusters. I would like to see what they have pretty much on the HRN, 2 height adjusters. I'm not a big fan of the 1 height adjuster. Sometimes you want the front to be higher than the rear, especially when you're mulching leaves during the fall. I would like to see 1 lever in the front, 1 lever in the back, and just make my life a little bit easier. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get this started right now. So the one and only time I need to start it for this one cut. All right, now it's on, and whenever I need to cut my grass, I just use a lever. here's how I use my turbo mode. Right now this turbo speed is a little bit higher. 3,000, 3,400. 3,000, 3,400. So I'm gonna cut right here. So as a homeowner, I mean, I only really use this maybe once a week at the most. I know you're not supposed to run these engines at higher RPM, especially commercial folks. So I'm just doing this mainly just to have that ability at a switch of a button to give me that extra RPM. Yes, it is risk from time to time. I may accidentally leave it at high. It's just a nice little trick. I'm gonna see how this works. If it looks like I'm having issues, can always readjust the governor and put it back at the stock RPM of 3,000 at max. All right, so this is an area that you definitely want the deck guard. Right up against this railing over here. My deck was scratched right up against it, so with this deck guard, I'm hoping that it will help. So one complaint I do have about this is it leaves clippings. Even though I have it in mulch mode, clippings will still make its way through. So when you're done cutting grass, you always have to remember to bag this up. So now here I am like an idiot. I turned it over to its side and have all these clippings, and I have to blow this all over my yard. Another complaint I have is this thing right here. This just pokes into me all the time when I'm mowing the grass, and it's a little sharp. So one thing I'm thinking about doing to mitigate is possibly getting some black foam and taping it here so I can just protect myself from bumping into this corner. My third complaint is just inherent with all Honda lawnmowers. It's difficult to pull back. There's always resistance, and this is a brand new lawnmower. And I know that all Hondas are pretty much the same, but going from an Ego electric lawnmower where both the front and the rear were ball bearings